Hi guys, I just wanted to introduce myself as I'm starting my channel, and I see that I'm getting subscribers. Thank you for those who have been subscribing. My name's Noelle. I just moved to, well, not just, but like I've been living in Central California for a couple of months now. I'm originally from, I guess, LA, Southern California, but I moved around a little bit. I lived in San Diego. I lived in the Inland Empire, Victorville, San Bernardino, and now I finally moved to Central California and I live with my boyfriend, which is how I ended up over here. Um, I do have two stepkids. They're his kids and we have them on the weekends, but this weekend they're not here. They went camping with their mom. We have two dogs, as you can see in some of my videos. Both of them are rescue. Blue, which is a chow chow. We took him from the shelter. He was one. When I say we, I mean my boyfriend, because he's the one that rescued him. He's 10 now, so he's like in his senior years. But I feel like I have them since forever. And then the one that we ended up taking in when we moved into this rental property was the border collie, which is he's called Solo. When we moved in, they had left him here, and the owner of the property said that they were going to just get rid of him because the guy that was living here just ended up leaving him here. So we ended up keeping him because we didn't want that. We didn't want him to go to the shelter and maybe be put down. I don't know, just anything weird happening to him. So we ended up taking him in and saw that they got along. At first they were fighting. My dogs were fighting a lot. And we were thinking, okay, we might have to give him up to someone and find him a home. But like right before finding him a home, they were able to get along. So I'm thankful for that because I love both of them. They both are great dogs. The border collie, he loves to bark all day. He's like the protector of the house. Anyone that goes into, like, we have a back alley, anyone that passes through the back alley, he just barks at them. So that makes me feel a little bit comfortable knowing that people know that there's two dogs out here, and that, they just can't come in if they were choosing to, like, break in or something. I work at a retail store at the moment. I'm part-time. Hopefully in the fall I can start school for speech pathology. My boyfriend, he works full-time. Sometimes when he picks up side jobs for his job, I'll go with him and I'll help him. I don't help him a lot because it's like very like hard, but like I'll help him with the minor stuff. He's a carpenter, so I'll like help him like screw like small screws or like just the smaller things that take up a lot of his time. So I'll go with him and I'll do that. But yeah, I'm just here trying to grow my channel, just trying to find a way to like, and find an outlet as I'm new to the area and still trying to, meet people. I have a couple friends out here, but they work as well, and we have opposite schedules, so it's hard to see them or talk to them. So sometimes, I do get lonely. So for a while, I've been contemplating. I was like, oh, what can I do to like maybe not feel as lonely or as I don't know, just I feel like I have a way to like be able to distress without having to feel so sad, I guess you can say. So I decided to open up a YouTube channel. I'm not expecting anything from it. I see that a lot of people open a YouTube channel and they get they get big after a while, and that's great. I mean, I hope I can do that one day, but like for the most part, I don't know, I just want to have this channel to be able to like just show you guys what it is like to live out here, what it is to like live well, at least for me, this is my first time living with a man other than, with my brother. Um, and just having to adapt to how they are, and then how us women are, I guess. So yeah, it's just, and just adapting to like living with, like I said, a man. Like, I also don't have any kids on my own. That's also have been a big new for me, having to like have so it's very different. It's a very difficult um path, I guess you can say, because sometimes the co-parenting is very difficult with the mother, you know, but for the most part everything's good. But it's just, you know, learning how to like, you know, realize that I'm here to help, but I'm not their mom, which I know I'm not their mom, but I know that some of the habits that my stepchildren have I don't like. So I'm just very like, you know, trying to introduce them to stuff like where, okay, we don't use shoes on the sofa. Well, at least in my house, I don't know, I know everyone's different, so I'm not gonna like, you know, but like in my house, like I don't want to have shoes on the sofa. I don't want to have you know, dirty socks on their feet. Like if they can, you know, put new socks on, yeah, why not? So it's just, you know, one of those things. I'm not sure. I'm 35. I'm not sure like what's going on with me, like if I can have any kids, to be honest. I went to the doctor. They said everything is fine. I did a couple years ago. I did lose like 50 pounds, I think, around there. But in the last 8 months or so, I put some of it on. I went through some things, and I just didn't know how to cope with it. So I ended up just gaining it all back by eating. So right now I'm trying to lose, you know, weight, and hopefully that helps me, and see if maybe that helps me get pregnant. Um, but if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with it. Like, I know that everything happens for a reason. If God doesn't want me to have any kids, then that's okay. I have my step kids. Um, they're they're wonderful to have around. They they're very, you know, for the most part, they're very, you know, relaxed. But you know, it's not the same thing as having your own kids. But like I said, like if it happens for me, that's gonna be awesome. But if it doesn't, I'm okay with it. I already made my peace. I don't want to stress myself out or put my body, you know, into more stress, I guess. I'm just thinking about that, because it does, you know, at some point it does overpower you. Thinking like, oh, I can't have kids, or why hasn't it happened to me? I just don't want that. So if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, like I said, I'm doing my part in trying to lose the weight right now. I've lost, I think, so far in the past 2 weeks, maybe around 6 pounds. So, you know, it's something, but it's just, you know, it's just something that I'm learning how to like deal with, in a sense. But yeah, I mean, that's just where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to learn how to, you know, this new lifestyle that I have, and adapting to it. Hopefully, you maybe I'll be posting content with my stepchildren. I'm not sure. If I do, it might with their face blurred out, you know, because they're not my children. I don't want to like, you know, piss the mom off, or, and also like I put myself in her shoes, because I'm like, if I had kids, I wouldn't want someone else to be posting them, you know. So I totally get that. So I don't want to like, you know, do anything that's gonna make the mother feel uncomfortable. Um, because I want a good relationship with her, but you know, my hand is extended. Like, if you want to have a great relationship with me, great. You know, if you don't, then I can't do anything about it. Like, I'm here. You know, it's my house and it's my rules, and just because they're your kids doesn't mean that they get to do whatever they want here. And I think that's one of the biggest problems for her. It's just like she doesn't like that, you know, I'm putting rules for the kids. I don't think they're crazy rules. I think that, you know, having the kids put their shoes on, put the shoes off before they get on the couch, have clean socks, shower. I don't shower them. But like, you know, just to shower, just to be clean. It's summer, like, you know, we're out in the heat, like, you know, your body just needs to be clean. And I think that's something that bothers them. And I think they already know. They already understood, like, okay, at her house, you know, we gotta do these things. But I think at first it was just like an ongoing problem. But I think we definitely have been finding the sweet spot. I've had to like deal with it. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any like tips and tricks, if you're a stepmom or a mom and you think that, you know, you can give me some ideas of how I can like, you know, bond with them without overstepping my boundaries, but also like knowing that, letting them know like, hey, this is my house, and in my house we do things differently compared to your house. But if you have any tips or tricks, or as a stepmom, if some things that you maybe learned and you're like, oh, here, I'm open to it. I'm open to all ideas when it comes to my stepkids. Because I want the best for them, you know. I don't want to be hurting them in the long term, and then later in life they don't want to like have anything to do with me, you know. But yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. I'm just, you know, learning how to like live out here and learning how to live with, you know, a man in the way that he is, in the sense of like, just, you know, a man is like. But yeah, like if you like the content that I'm uploading, and if you want to like and subscribe, go ahead. I'm gonna be posting more stuff as, you know, as my days go, maybe from my job. I'm not sure. Just, you know, content. I want to grow my channel. I want to be able to like have an outlet and be able to have something that helps me distress and not feel like I'm alone. I know I'm not alone, but just like sometimes you do feel alone, and I think that's normal. I think we're all human. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people don't talk about their mental health, or they do, but not like 100%. Like, and if you're struggling with it, like, like, you know, like there's help. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be scared of. Because I promise you that once you get the help, you're gonna feel not 100% better, but you're definitely gonna feel way better, and hopefully one day 100% better. But it is, you know, you take one day at a time, and once you realize what it is and what's going on, like, you do end up feeling this big relief of like, okay, now I know what was going on. But yeah, that's just me, and you know, my name's Noel, or in Spanish, Noeli. And I'm just gonna be posting, and go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button. Thank you.